Be careful what you joke about. My name is Werner Puchert, and this is Finding Frequency. So I've always had this dream that I could be on stage someday, maybe in an old dingy club behind a microphone. Wait, I'm not in a dingy club, but I'm sitting in my apartment behind a microphone. But I want to invite you to come into my imaginary club. In fact, I've kept a very special seat for you over there in the VIP section, close to the stage. Grab a chair and order something. It's on me. Oh, and if you can excuse me, it's nearly time for the talent to get on stage. I need to run over there and introduce him, the special guest. Hope you enjoy. Good evening, folks, and it's a very special evening. I'm very excited to introduce to you a very dear friend of mine from Copenhagen. Everybody, please welcome on stage comedian extraordinaire Niels Forsberg.
All right. I hope this thing is on. My name is Niels. I hail from the boring and soul-crushing, mind-numbing suburbs of Copenhagen. And I know Werner from the College of Extraordinary Experiences, where we have shared many a happy moment. Now, to get to the nitty-gritty of this thing. What have I learned about myself and the world during this time? Well, I am a stand-up comedian, which means that I was unemployed when the corona thing happened. So I guess I had to view myself in a new light, like I can't do live comedy anymore. And then I discovered that if I could not do live comedy, the best thing for me to do was to become a futurist. You know, like a scientist of the future, where you future tell what's going to happen in the future. And the reason I say this is, in my last show, I had a lot of jokes about how useless it would be to be a comedian during an apocalypse. Like, I had this long bit where I imagined what would my pitch be if, like, some Bear Grylls kind of Navy SEAL super soldier is going to be putting together the band of survivor scavengers he needs. What would my pitch be? Like, hello, Bear. My name is Niels. I can't get you clean water, but sometimes you'll giggle after I speak. How about that? Huh? Will that work for you? No, I can't fight. Well, unless you count snappy comebacks. Because I'm a comedian and I'd be useless after a nuclear war. What would you need in an apocalypse? You need someone who could get us food. And I know how to search for food if I have Google. What do you need after a nuclear war? You need someone who knows first aid, and I don't know first aid. I know third aid, which is whenever an accident happens, I'm the first guy on site to film it with my cell phone camera. Blah, blah, blah. A lot of jokes about how useless a comedian would be during an apocalypse. And then the whole fucking corona thing happened, and what do you know? The comedian instantly became useless. Like, society just told me, no, I'm sorry. Like, Niels, you're not welcome anymore. You don't, what you can contribute with is not wanted right now. I was told that society basically told me that I am a non-essential worker. Because all the, quote, essential workers were told to go to work. And these are all the true heroes of society, the essential workers like the garbage man and the like the doctors and healthcare workers and the pizza makers, the kebab dudes, all the essential people that keep our society going. All of those were told, you have to go to work. And I was told, your services aren't needed right now, you're not essential, basically stay at home. And it felt like when I was a kid and my dad was going to cut down a tree, he was like, I'm sorry, Niels, this is grown-up stuff. The best way you can contribute is not get in my way. So what have I learned from all of this? I've learned one thing. So that's what I've learned about myself, and I've learned something about society. I have learned that zombie movies are frighteningly realistic. Because I've always found it weird that zombie movies always take place in some dumb parallel universe that doesn't have any other zombie movies. So when the zombies come, no one knows how to fight the zombies. They're like, oh, the dead are walking! Wow! If only I had some kind of pop cultural reference to how I'm gonna relate to this whole situation. Alright, we'll improvise. Let's see, there's 6 of us. Let's split up. You two go have sex. This seems like an appropriate time to do that. You two go start the lawnmower. Maybe the sound will drive them off. And me and Kenny will hold down the fort. Alright, Kenny, let's shoot him in the heart and see what happens. By the way, if you haven't seen any zombie movies, if you want to get ready for when the zombies come, here's a quick tip. What you do is you sit down and watch the entire Walking Dead series. And tip number 2, you do everything the exact opposite. Spoiler alert, they're all idiots and they all die. Just be smart. Now, I always thought that this didn't make any sense, but then I saw how the world reacted to the coronavirus. We had the solution. The scientists came out and said, hey, we know what's up. This is how we deal with this thing, right? And you just saw the entire world ignoring how you're supposed to battle this enemy of the world. Fucking Boris Johnson, who came out and said, I'm gonna keep shaking everyone's hand, even the ones who have coronavirus. And then Boris Johnson got the coronavirus. And I just think, if I was English, man, that would be so cool to know about Boris Johnson. Like, he's the kind of guy that when the zombies come, he's going to be all out in the media going, England is a free country, and if one of our citizens wants to bite me, god darn it, I'm going to let him. I love that video of Iran's Minister of Health who went on national television to tell the Iranian populace that Corona was fake news and made up, while he obviously himself had the coronavirus. Man, I saw news from all across the world. I saw in Bangladesh there were 10,000 people gathered to say communal prayer towards Corona. And while we wrap our minds around just how dumb that is, I'm just going to say it was like the Danes were just as big idiots. All the fitness centers closed, which means that every CrossFit playground in the park was covered by the same CrossFit douchebag doing pull-ups on the same bars, sweating into the same soil, drinking from the same fountains as fucking everybody else. And I'm trying to do the thing and I'm staying indoors and thinking, I can forgive highly religious people of not getting it, but resource-strong hippies should know better. This is bigger than your biceps, Jason. I know it's hard to imagine. Stay the fuck indoors. So I've been wondering about all these things, and I think, it all makes sense now. People in zombie movies don't know how to deal with zombies, and people during the coronavirus didn't know how to deal with the coronavirus. And all of a sudden, I am very worried about the safety of our future. Because right now it appears to me that everything is the same with the climate changes this planet is still going through, and every post-apocalyptic movie I've ever seen. We've all seen them. The fucking post-apocalyptic mayhem movie where humanity has drained the planet of every resource and everything that's left is this Mad Max salt desert. And most of the planet still talks about climate change like, I don't know, Kenny. Let's shoot him in the heart and see if that works.